Hey, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well today, and I hope that you are staying nice and cool if at all possible. Yeah, so I actually meant to be back a lot sooner than 2 days later, but our AC decided it wanted to go out in 90 something degree weather. And so just it was a little bit uncomfortable to try to film and not pass out is an understatement. But I hope you're doing well and I hope you're doing good. But the AC is back on and working. So we're just going to see, it's within that first 24 hours. So hopefully we don't have any issues. But boy, it was quite a shock when we woke up yesterday or a couple days in the morning and everything was fine. And all of a sudden it wasn't. So, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be here. This feels normal to me. So yeah. And yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and just jump really right on in, but I do hope that you are doing well. And yeah, thank you for being here. So as you can see by the title, we are doing another weekly roundup celebrity edition. Now, I had actually started doing that last week. And as I had shared, that was an opportunity for this. Sometimes a lot of stories that I come across that I find interesting that I want to just kind of chat with you guys about and get your opinions and get your thoughts about. And so I thought, it'd be a good idea to just kind of put some of those stories together that I didn't get a chance to do a solo focus on and just kind of present them, all together. And that lies the weekly roundup. So that is what this one is going to be. I actually have two videos that I want to pull up today or upload today rather that are same thing, both weekly roundups, because there's quite a few stories that I just want to get your take and your thoughts on and share mine. So I hope that you enjoy. So go ahead and sit back and relax and let's go ahead and get into it. So we are starting with Miss actress Trina Mcgee. And yeah, this was pretty exciting, actually. I don't know if you remember the TV show Boy Meets World. And I think that came out in, I don't know, what year was that? I guess it was a 90s show, something like mid to late 90s, but it was a pretty popular show. And a lot of us, I think watched it at that time. And one of the breakout stars of that show was Trina Mcgee. Well, enough, you may have already heard as well that she has just came out, I think a couple of weeks now it's been, and shared that she is pregnant. And so we're just super excited for her. But not only did she share she was pregnant, she also let it be known that, she is also 54 and pregnant. And so it was like, wow, see what happens when you take care of yourself and do well by your body. I tell you, good things can come at any point. And she does seem extremely happy, and we're extremely happy for her. Definitely wish her lots of blessings for a very good time in pregnancy and the safe delivery and safe labor and all of that good stuff, and just many blessings abound. So yeah, I mean, look, gone I think are the days, at least for some of us anyways, that we are going to be rushing things at a certain point in life that we may not be ready for, or that we're just not going to say that it's 100% out the door, that something might not happen for you. You just never know. Sometimes you just got to keep your faith in the right direction and really keep yourself together. And that's really the big thing. And if you manage to do that, you'll be okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and pull up that story here and let's talk about it, because what I thought was so fascinating is not only that she is pregnant, which is great, but that she said that her adult children actually learned of her pregnancy online. Like, okay. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Now, according to People, Boy Meets World star Trina Mcgee's adult children learned of her pregnancy online, which pretty much was the same like we all learned, right? So Mcgee also tells People that about how her former Boy Meets World co-stars reacted to the news as well. The news of Trina Mcgee's pregnancy at age 54 didn't just take the world by surprise. The Boy Meets World alum exclusively tells People that learning she's expecting her fourth baby with her first husband let's go back. That she's learning she's expecting her fourth baby, her first with her husband Marcelo Thetford, came as a shock to her. But her three adult children, Ramea, 31, Langston, 29, and Ezra, 25, who she shares with her first husband, actor Cortland Davis, were also surprised by the news, especially since they learned about it online. I put something on Facebook. I didn't think it was a big deal. And I said, oh, I'll call the kids later. They're grown. They have their own lives. So I speak to them maybe once a week on Sundays normally. Now, we're speaking a lot more, she says. I would say naturally so, right? Two of them found out through the media, and one of them was really pissed. It was just a matter of a couple of hours of a slip. However, despite the slip up, Mcgee says everything is now fine between the bunch. We're all good now, and actually, it jolted us all into really talking and being together, she shares. On June 3rd, the actress announced her pregnancy news, which most of you may have already heard, calling her pregnancy a miracle. She attributes her more holistic approach to life to allowing her to conceive her fourth child completely naturally at 54. Your body has to feel free. The blood has to flow to the uterus, says Mcgee, who has been enjoying a relaxing period in Belize during her pregnancy. And well, that's a great place to do that. I mean, Belize is nice. I want to get back there myself. So she further shares that, sorry guys, but you just need certain things for your body to feel nourished. And if you're in a place of an environment that is not providing that and you want to conceive, then you need to get out of it. The stress is really important. You have to stay away from stress. Mcgee has continued to feel the love and support from those close to her since going public with the news, including from her husband of 16 years. My husband, he reacted so lovingly. He's just been so great. He took me out to see deer yesterday and play in a yard to just keep me peaceful, she recalls. We've put a lot of work into our marriage, so I've got a good one. Now, that many blessings on that. Mcgee also notes that the number one person who has supported her is her husband. Mcgee's former Boy Meets World co-stars Danielle Fishel, Will Friedle, and Ryder Strong also reacted great when she told them the news. They wished me well. I actually talked to them on a text a couple of weeks before it had become public knowledge, and I had told them because honestly, it was in passing about something else. She remembers it wasn't like I had to announce it, although I love announcing it to them. But yeah, they're great. I mean, how nice is that, right? I mean, and what a shocker that must be. I mean, most people are at a position where they're trying to kind of relax, and I don't know why we're skipping pictures here, but look, I didn't say everything was going to be perfect. There we go. But yeah, I mean, just what a shocker that must have been, and where most people are probably trying to get to a certain point in life where they're relaxing and doing more vacationing and just more projects that they want to do. Raising kids is not necessarily the thing that they maybe want to be doing this stage of life, but it just goes to show you different folks, or what is it, different strokes for different folks. Everything is relative to whoever the person it applies to, right? So, I mean, this is just great, really. So according to the Classmates actress, one of the perks of having a baby has been reconnecting with various people in her life. My mom's calling me a little bit more. My bestie from childhood has been calling, and we've been interacting, he says. That's what I really love about what babies do. They do have a tendency to bring families together and people who haven't spoken in a while together. That's the beauty of it. Mcgee, who is launching play farms and retreat in Belize and an online shop in July, is currently 12 weeks along in her pregnancy. At this time, her biggest concern has been reading what other people think online. I don't know how safe that may or may not be, but hopefully she's getting a lot of support because that is what she would deserve. Which originally prompted her to take a break from social media. I imagine it did, but she does experience these little aches and pains from time to time. I have this thing a lot of pregnant women called round ligament, where at the bottom of your belly on the sides, you're feeling the muscles pull out as your stomach gets larger, she says. I was really scared about that. I was like, what is that? I don't remember having that back in the day. I have that a little, but that's about it. Ahead of her little one's arrival, Mcgee doesn't have any major plans to celebrate the baby, whose sex she's waiting to learn at the time of the child's birth. However, she is getting her home ready for that exciting moment. We're building a lot of stuff on our home, and I'm envisioning like a playroom house. My ideas keep getting bigger and bigger, she says. I just saw this jungle gym I want to put in the backyard. All of the physical stuff is really fun too. The baby bassinets, picking the materials for things. She adds, I want everything to be 100% cotton and not with any polyesters or anything in it. All of the preparation is just so wonderful. And I bet it is. I mean, she probably never really thought that she would come to a place where she would be doing this, having a baby another fourth time around at this time in her life. So I think it's great. I mean, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about that? Were you shocked to hear about it when it was shared online with everybody? Yeah, I was. So your comments down below. How excited would you be if this was you? But furthermore, sharing your well wishes for her in the comment section would be just as nice and effective as well. So hopefully that you will do that. So yeah, let's go ahead and go into our second story for Roundup, which if you saw all the pictures going through, which was not intentional, you would have saw that J.Hud is the next one up, I believe. Let's see how right I am. Let's see. It's like, yes, J.Hud. Now, J.Hud had a very interesting, J.Hud, Jennifer Hudson, had a very interesting story that popped up last week. I was, let's just put it this way. If it was me, I would be shocked. But she seems to be taking it in stride. And it's a pretty... full story. It really is. So let me go ahead and pull up the article real quick so we can kind of get into it. And let's talk about it, because I thought, wow, I mean, the surprises just keep on coming. And, look, Jennifer Hudson isn't any different. So let's go ahead and get into it. This is according to People. Jennifer Hudson opens up about discovering her father had 27 kids. You heard it right. 27 kids, and her dream of meeting them all. Woo! That's a lot, boy. That is a lot. So, Jennifer shares, it was my dream to have all of us at this grand Thanksgiving or Christmas table, and we all sit and eat together. That was my goal at 16. So she's clearly known about this for quite some time, Hudson had shared. Jennifer Hudson is revealing a big discovery that she previously made about her family. Yeah, I don't know. How about that? The singer, 42, is on this week's finale episode of Your Mama's Kitchen, Conversations from the Heart of the Home. Hey, if you ever heard of that, it's a podcast apparently. Let me know in the comment section. She was on that actually last week. And she was doing that to talk about her family life. When asked about siblings, Hudson had a surprising story to tell. Your father had a big personality, host Michelle Norris said, and you went with your siblings and went and found him at some point and found that you had a lot more siblings? Yes, a lot of us. Apparently, he had 27 children, Hudson shared. A shocked Norris noticed that a lot of children before the EGOT winner went on to explain that she never met them all, but that's what we were always told. She said that when she found out about them at 16, she wanted to look deeper into her family. It was my dream to have all of us at this grand Thanksgiving or Christmas table, and we will all sit and eat together. That was my goal at 16, she explained. The talk show host explained that she ended up meeting 6 or 7 of them along with the siblings she grew up with, Jason and Julia. We found quite a few of us, she said, adding, and I'm the youngest of all of them. Wow. As for them finding out about her, Hudson said it was her father's side of the family that helped unite the siblings she ended up meeting. When my grandma on his side passed, my siblings over there were like, y'all got a sister that can really sing. You should meet her, she revealed. And eventually we all came together. Hudson is the mother to a son, 14-year-old David Daniel Ortega Jr., who she shares with ex David Otunga. Last year, she brought him to the White House for Juneteenth and later opened up about the importance of raising a young Black man in her cover story for Real Simple. I want my son to be a part of those things and his cousins and friends, she said. Little David has a really big heart and he always wants to include them. So I said, I'll sing, but I have to bring my boys. And I told the guys, when you get old and you have children, you're going to say, I was there for the first Juneteenth, and to be able to sing for it, That's something I will never forget. On the podcast, Hudson spoke about wanting her son to grow up around family, explaining, I love to try to make sure he has the closest thing to him, just making sure he has his cousin's circle and that base and foundation. That's part of why I had moved back to Chicago, because I wanted him to have the surroundings of his family around him growing up. Now we're here in LA, and so we make a point to like have our Sunday dinners. That's one thing that's very important, she continued. And then he has cousins that come in and out. One of them is here right now, and so to keep that family burning, so he has that same upbringing or going to see the loved ones I talk to. We have a huge family. People like the fact that y'all are this close and your family is this big. Like all of us are still very connected, she added. Now, I thought that was a sweet story. Jennifer is such a bubbly, warm individual. She appears to be such. I absolutely adore Jennifer, like maybe a lot of you, watched her on American Idol many years ago. And she was fabulous then, and she's still fabulous now. To watch the many accomplishments that she has achieved over her career has just been nothing short of phenomenal. Being an EGOT winner, which is truly a wonderful blessing for someone to achieve. There's, I think, only about 19, maybe 20 of them in the world. And it's just really, really wonderful that this, young female, sorry, not too much off from my age, but for her to start off where she was an American Idol contestant, no one knew who she was, to this person who was known worldwide. I think it's fantastic. And of course, with the tragedy that befallen her situation, her family back in 2008, which a lot of you are probably more than familiar with, she lost her family members through violence, and that's always been such a sad story, obviously, and definitely heart and prayers continue to go out to her as she continues through her journey in her life with her family that are here with her. And so for her to know and have so many people that she could maybe still interact with and just kind of continue to build family with, I think it's really, really special. And so what's also interesting is, I'm not sure how old she was when she joined American Idol, but I think she said she was 16 when she found out all about the 27 kids. So she probably already started getting that information and interacting with that before even coming to American Idol. So yeah, it's just things were really, the world was just opening up to her, right? So I would love to know your thoughts about that. I thought it was a really feel-good story, and I just, there's so much negative in the world, and doesn't mean I won't have stories that don't have some of that with it. But I just thought I saw this and it just made me feel good, and I thought, well, why not share something positive in this roundup? And so I'm so happy to have done that with Jennifer, because yeah, she just exudes positivity, and I appreciate that in her. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you think that you would have been shocked if you had found out somebody had 27 kids? Being one of your parents? Yeah, I think I would be. I would be extremely shocked. But it seems like, they really got a good handle on trying to at least meet, the family members. And I'm sure they were pretty shocked to, really see who she is and who she's become over the years as well. So yeah, congratulations on all the new family members to J.Hud, and of course, many, many more accomplishments and blessings for her, because, hey, good people deserve good things. So yeah, so that wraps it up for that particular story. And I think our final story in this roundup is going to be on, let me see. Missy Misdemeanor Elliott, one of my favorite rappers. Yeah, really, really, really love Missy. And I'm so glad that she is back out. I mean, she's fully back out. I believe her, Busta Rhymes, and Sierra are actually getting ready to start their concert tours here probably, I want to say, if not this month, next month. So if you're going to see that concert, let me know. I would love to know. I'm trying to see if I can work it out myself, because I think that would be really fun to see Missy in person. I love Busta Rhymes. I love Sierra. I think it's going to be a phenomenal show. And I'm just so glad to see her out and about and, really getting back into her career. And that kind of brings us to the story that I came across, and maybe you might have heard it. If you have, drop it in the comment section below. But apparently, all that time that Missy had been out, she had been dealing with something that was, very, very serious. And it appears that Missy had shared in an article that she was reflective on her battle with Graves' disease. And I knew that she was gone, and there was, different things, how the rumor mill runs and stuff. And then eventually just got really quiet. And she was always one of those rappers, but she's such a profound rapper, and she has such a staple. I mean, she's just a legend, that, her absence really in the music business was missed. And I'm so glad to see her coming back out. She's done a few spots here and there. I believe that she actually popped up on one of the Super Bowls a few years back with Beyonce. Is that Beyonce that she was on there with, or was it Katy Perry? It might have been Katy Perry's time frame. And it was so good to see her. I mean, she looked good. She looked phenomenal, right? She was always a beautiful, lady. So it was just so nice to see her. And she looked really good. And she looked, vibrant and just as happy and excitable to be performing. And so it was just really good to see, because she is one of those entertainers that's just part of the soundtrack of our lives. And I just appreciate, just like many of her fans, and I consider myself one of those as well, I appreciate her music and what she's done and her contributions to the music world. And I'm just so glad, and I don't know how you feel about this, but feel free to drop it in the comment section. But I am so excited about the renaissance going on with a lot of acts that are out there touring, making music, getting back into the studio, and just doing all the things that God has blessed them with the ability to do. I always wondered, like many people, I'm sure, what the heck happened for a good period of time where everybody just kind of went away. And now you're seeing some things that are letting us know, maybe for some situations, why that was happening. But we're going to keep it on the positive. The positive element of that is that we are seeing so many people come back out, picking up those gifts, because a gift is a gift, right? If God gives you a gift, it is your gift. And I just don't see how any of them, being as super talented as they were, not to be able to continue on with their gift. It is a blessing to us all to be able to see whatever they're able to provide and share. And I'm just so excited that she is out there as well. And I love Sierra as well. I love Busta Rhymes. I mean, it just, at the end of the day, this is great for them. And I'm hoping that we will see new music, for all three, but even just playing the classics for now is good enough, because the classics are better than good enough, So let's go ahead and get into the sharing, because I think that one thing that is so really helpful, I've always found, is that when celebrities take the time to share things about their struggle that they're comfortable with sharing, and how that can help other people. And I just think that it's so great, because just goes to show you never know, just because you may be a celebrity doesn't necessarily mean that you are living a life free of things that you have to deal with, challenges and drama and fears and all those types of things, right? I think it really does basically, or in my feelings, should really allow you to look inward in finding what makes you happy and being the best that you can, and excelling in where you can excel, and understanding that you're just as good in whatever facet that you choose to pursue yourself, right? There's nothing that is only given and geared to just one set of individuals just because of status. There was this movie, Mr. Wonderful. If you ever watched it, I think it was an early 90s movie actually, and I was a kid and I saw it, and it was such a good movie. And there was this profound moment, and I cannot remember the actress's name, and I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I think her name was Mary Louise Parker. I think that's her real name, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's her real name. And she played the girlfriend. I won't tell you too much about the movie if you haven't seen it, but it's called Mr. Wonderful, I believe. Oh, I hope I'm saying that right. But it was such a good movie, and she was in a moment where she knew that things were ending with her relationship, and that there was a bond happening with the person she was with, and between him and his previous wife. And she knew things were coming to an end, and she was kind of coming to a point of acceptance. And she said, sometimes the world may just only have enough. There's so many happiness or smiles to go around, just like tears. And I thought, how profound is that? And that's something that just stuck with me. Sometimes it feels like that, especially when you feel like things are only going a certain way. But I just thought, yeah, it just goes to show you, not everybody's happy at the same time, not everybody's sad at the same time. Things come around for everybody, irregardless. So yeah, it's just something that just popped into my mind, and it's something I thought about, and it is something I think that's good to remember. That you just have just as good a chance. So enough with that, but let's get into this quick story here. So the article was actually shared in complex.com. So Missy Elliott reflects on her battle with Graves' disease. She shares that she is blessed to be here. The Grammy-winning rapper was diagnosed with Graves' disease in 2008. Missy Elliott feels blessed to be here, and we are certainly blessed to have her. The four-time Grammy winner, 52, is set to hit the road for her debut headlining tour next month, titled Out of This World, the Missy Elliott Experience Tour. And I bet you it's going to be quite the experience, because if any of the promos for this means or shares or says anything, this tour is going to be off his album. Where did that come from? I love that saying, though. Let's continue. The tour will feature Missy performing alongside friends and collaborators Sierra 38 and Busta Rhymes 52. In recent years, Elliott has been largely out of spotlight, in part due to her battle with Graves' disease and severe anxiety. According to Mount Sinai, Graves' disease is an autoimmune disease that leads to an overactive thyroid gland. Symptoms include anxiety, fatigue, hair and weight loss, and a rapid or irregular heartbeat. The rapper was diagnosed with Graves' disease back in 2008 after an incident where she nearly wrecked her car while experiencing tremors, another symptom of the disease. Every day I wake, I am blessed to be here and in good health, Elliott told People after a rehearsal for the tour. I'm feeling so much better now. That was a run. Every now and then you get a little ache in the leg or the knee, but outside of that, I feel good. And we are so glad that she does, honestly, because who would have ever thought she would be struggling with that? Elliott, who became the first female rapper to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, spoke to Good Morning America, Robin Roberts, about her health struggles before receiving the honor, saying the disease broke down her nervous system. I remember Monica coming to the house one day and I couldn't even a pencil, Elliott told GMA last November. She wrote the lyrics out for me. I felt helpless, like it started messing with me mentally. She continued, you have all those different side effects that you have to deal with. Life is never going to be full of roses. Those tests become your testimony. Out of This World, the Missy Elliott Experience with special guests Busta Rhymes, Sierra, and Timberland kicks off on July 4th in Vancouver, British Columbia at the Rogers Arena. The tour will visit arenas in major cities, including Los Angeles, Houston, Atlanta, and Brooklyn, before wrapping up in Rosemont, Illinois on August 22nd at the Allstate Arena. Well, I definitely say congratulations is in order to all three artists. I am excited for this tour for them. I do hope I get a chance to hop on one of those tour dates. If you do plan on going yourself or already, got yourself mapped out to picking a location and you're ready to go, drop that in the comment section. Let me know if you're going. I would love to know, how many of us are going. Who knows? Maybe we may see each other. You never know, right? So yeah, I am just really so happy that she is doing better and doing well. And so yeah, continued blessings and well wishes for Missy. And thank you, Missy, for sure sharing your story. Not many people are familiar with Graves' disease and what types of things can entail. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that Wendy Williams actually shared that she had Graves' disease. And so she shared a lot of her symptoms and the things that she was dealing, the struggles she was dealing with. And so I always thought that to be extremely helpful to have done that, because sometimes, we may not know about these things until somebody decides to share that they have it. And that could jumpstart, a path of knowledge for you that might be necessary, or things for you to look out for, for yourself and your health. And I just think that anytime we can put information out there to help each other is always a good thing. So yeah, I really enjoyed these roundup stories. Quite frankly, I felt they were such good, feel-good stories. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed, just hanging out with me and just hearing some good news and some helpful news and some inspiring news. We've got some other news later on too. But yeah, it's just nice to take a moment for these types of, human interest stories, if you will. But definitely leave your comments below, those, things that you want to share about either one of these stories. And I think at that point, I will bid you adieu with this video. I will be coming out with another video here shortly. It'll be another roundup with some more stories that I found interesting. So definitely make sure you have that notification bell on and that you're subscribed to this channel. And of course, if you have already been subscribed and part of this family, I thank you so much for being here. And I truly appreciate all of your listening support. I really do. It means a lot to me. It really does. So yeah, I will be back a little bit later on. And until then, bye.